the roar of silence. Let us turn back time to 2,600 years ago, at the subcontinent of India, a land of extreme polarities, where ultimate wealth resided right beside terminal poverty, where thousands of religions were debating fiercely over the meaning of life. Amidst that noise and chaos, there was a prince named Siddhartha. He chose the way to renounce everything. He had the throne. He had the palace. He had a beautiful wife, a wise son. But he felt, within his mind, a massive storm. He stepped out into the midnight to search for the sound hardest to hear on earth. That is the stillness of liberation. We often think that stillness is sitting still, doing nothing, but Indian history has proven the opposite. True stillness is a revolution, an internal war, most intense, to fight against millennial habits of the human mind. Today, we will not speak of religion. We will speak of the history of thought and scientific methods that changed the destiny of billions of people. Today's journey will pass through 3 stages of historical importance. The first stage, ruts and deadlocks. We will follow Prince Siddhartha, seeking the masters most famous of that era. The second stage, the great discovery. What happened under the Bodhi tree? What tool did he find to dissect the mind? The third stage, the lineage flow from the caves of remote Burma to the era of Goenka and the global explosion. This story is not just history, it is a map for your own inner self. If you are searching for an escape for the noise in your head, please devote your full time to walk with me until the end of this path. Welcome to Daily Life Stories. Part 1. The Rut and the Dead End. The quest for truth of Prince Siddhartha began at the monastery of the hermit Alara Kalama, the most renowned master of that era. Here, Siddhartha was taught meditation methods to reach the plane of the sphere of nothingness. With extraordinary aptitude, within a short time, he achieved attainment. He saw his mind completely empty, like an infinite space, devoid of matter, devoid of imagery. Only nothingness remained. Master Alara Kalama was utterly amazed. He declared, "The doctrine I know, you also know. You are my equal. Stay here. Let us lead this Sangha together." But Siddhartha refused. Why? He analyzed that, although the mind is empty, there still remains a self. Observing that emptiness, that self, is the seed of rebirth. Upon death, one may rise to heaven. But when merit is exhausted, one falls back into samsara. This is not eternal liberation? He continued his departure, seeking the second master, named Uddaka Ramapada, the holder of the ultimate peak of mundane meditation. He taught him the 8th jhana, neither perception nor non-perception. This is the state most subtle of consciousness. It is like oil smeared on a bowl. One cannot say it exists because it is too thin. One cannot say it does not because it still remains. The mind at this point has completely suspended. No joy, no sorrow, no pleasure, no pain. Like a sleep, most profound. But once again, Siddhartha saw a dead end. He realized that, even if consciousness settles to the most subtle level, greed, hatred, and delusion have not been eradicated. They are merely hibernating, like bacteria, shrinking in the cold. But when encountering favorable conditions, they will flare up again. He craved total cessation, not a temporary escape. Therefore, he departed again, disappointed with the masters. He decided to find his own way. He went to the ancient forest of Uruvela with 5 companions, the group of Kandana. Here, he began the fiercest battle with his own body. Asceticism. He believed that fear and desire reside in the flesh. To destroy them, one must torture the body. He practiced breath retention. He blocked his nose, blocked his mouth, blocked his ears, forcing air to rush up to the crown, painful as if a strong man used a rope to tighten around his head. He practiced fasting, eating less and less, until eating only 1 sesame seed each day. The robust body of a warrior now remained only like a dry skeleton. The belly skin stuck to the spine. Hair fell out in clumps. 6 years living in a hell created by himself. But wisdom still did not appear. Only exhaustion and death were approaching very near. One afternoon, while trying to bathe, he collapsed by the Niranjana river, with no strength left to stand up. In that very moment, near death, the truth exploded. He realized, for a lute to sound, strings must not be too tight, nor too slack. Indulgence is wrong, but torturing the body is also blind. This body is a raft to cross the river. If destroying the raft, we will sink before reaching the shore of enlightenment. Let us stop and reflect on ourselves. Siddhartha once mistakenly thought that torturing himself was the only way to achieve the goal. What about you? In modern life, do you inadvertently believe that exhausting your strength, sacrificing your health, is the only way to success? We stay up all night. We skip meals. We take medicine to hold on. Is that truly effort? Or is it a form of mistaken asceticism, like him by the river? Are you destroying the raft of your own self? Please share the story of your pressure in the comments below, so that we can find balance together. Philosophy. A lamp cannot burn without oil. A mind cannot shine in a body that has withered. Part 2. The Great Discovery. The Mind Surgery. After collapsing, Siddhartha was saved by the milk rice bowl of Lady Sujata. When the sweet milk touched his lips, his body awakened. But 5 friends, fellow ascetics, turned their backs. They assumed that he had regressed. He had returned to indulgence. He remained only alone. But exactly at that most solitary moment, wisdom illuminated. He realized the middle way truth. The body needs nourishment to serve as a launchpad for the mind to elevate. He stepped to under the Bodhi tree in the land of Gaia. He spread a handful of grass, making a seat, and uttered an iron vow. Though blood dries up, though bones and flesh rot, I decide not to leave this spot. If not yet found the key to liberation, eternal. Night fell before the light of enlightenment appeared. Darkness had to rise most powerfully. That was the attack of Mara. Please understand correctly. Mara is not a blue and red monster holding a trident like in movies. Mara is actually the phantoms within his consciousness. It is memory of the beautiful wife, the young child. It is the fear of death. It is the doubt about his own self. They screamed inside his head. They created images, most terrifying and most seductive, to pull him up. How did he fight? He did not strain. He did not run away. Nor did he debate with them. He utilized the ultimate weapon. That is observation. Absolute stillness. He looked straight into those storms and identified them. I have seen you, Mara. To analyze this deep psychological layer, our team spent many weeks researching ancient texts, aiming to bring you a perspective most authentic, devoid of superstition. If you feel these values are helping the thinking of your own self, please support us with a like button and subscribe to the channel. Right now, that is the greatest motivation for us to continue digging even deeper. Returning to the tree. When the mind was settled, he began the mind surgery. He did not look out. He turned back all senses inward. Step 1. He observed breath, anapana, to anchor the mind to the present moment. Breath is the bridge connecting body and mind. Step 2. When the mind was sharp, like a scalpel, he began to illuminate sensations on the body. Vedana. This is the greatest discovery. He realized that every human reaction, greed or anger, is not due to external objects, but due to sensations on the body. When someone scolds you, you get angry, not because of those words, but because of sensations. Heat in the chest, heart beating fast, discomfort. He observed those sensations arising, then passing away at the speed of light. He saw the whole body merely as vibrations of subatomic particles, kalapas. There is nothing that is a rigid self. Everything is impermanence anicca. The very moment he comprehended that the final chain of ignorance was severed, the morning star rose. Siddhartha was no more. Only Buddha remained, the awakened one, who had found the way to end suffering by observing reality as it is. In your life, everyone has a Mara of their own. For this person, it is anger. For that person, it is laziness, or the fear of failure. When that Mara visits you, what do you usually do? Do you fight it? Do you suppress it? Or are you dragged away by it? Have you ever tried sitting still and just observing it, as he did? Please be brave to name the Mara disturbing you most. Down in the comments, we will together identify it. Philosophy. Do not try to silence ocean waves. That is futile. Learn how to dive deep to the bottom, where the ocean is always still. Part 3. The Immortal Legacy and the Return. After enlightenment, the Buddha did not keep the secret to himself. He dedicated 45 years to walking across northern India. He established the Sangha order, the practicing community, first of humanity. The greatest thing of this order was not miracles, but the equality, absolute. Let us imagine an Indian society of caste division, extremely harsh, but within the Sangha, a king sat meditating right beside a scavenger. A wealthy merchant ate from the same bowl with a bandit who had reformed. They merged together like water of 100 rivers. flowing into the ocean, the very resonance of thousands of those peaceful minds, created a magnetic field of stillness, capable of transforming anyone stepping into that energy zone. But the law of impermanence is crueler than we think. Only 500 years after the Buddha's passing, the pure Vipassana technique disappeared completely. Right in the homeland of India, people began to mix the Dhamma with mantras, with ritual worship, to pray for blessings. Instead of sitting still to purify the mind, the lamp of wisdom was extinguished on Indian soil. But a miracle happened. Before darkness covered all, a group of bhikkhus silently carried the sacred flame to the neighboring country, that is Myanmar, Burma. In this land, for 2,000 years, the chain of masters preserved this technique, absolutely original, without adding or removing a word. What were they waiting for? Waiting for the moment to return it to the world. Let us bow in reverence before three great names who made history. The first is the great elder Ledi Sayadaw. In the 19th century, he created a revolution. He declared, "The treasure door has opened," bringing meditation from deep forests to the common people. Next is Saya Thetgi, a saintly farmer. He proved that you need not shave your head. You can still master the mind right amidst the fields. And finally, is Sayagyi U Ba Kin, a government official holding the national treasury, busy with 1,000 tasks, but still remained a brilliant meditation master. It was U Ba Kin who lit the torch for the greatest student, S. N. Goenka. In 1955, destiny arranged Goenka to meet U Ba Kin, not for spirituality, but for migraine. Chronic. He was extremely wealthy, but in extreme pain, having to inject morphine to survive the day. He came asking to learn meditation to cure the disease. But U Ba Kin refused flatly. Here is not a hospital. Here cures the mind, not the body. That very sentence awakened Goenka. He accepted to learn to dissect the soul. After 10 days, the pain disappeared. But more importantly, the arrogant ego also vanished. He knelt down at the teacher's feet and accepted the mission. The clock has struck. Take this lamp back to India. The Ganges of Dhamma must flow again on Indian soil to prove the power of the lineage. In the new century, look at Tihar Jail. In 1994, more than 1,000 murderer inmates, people who never knew what compassion was, sat down, closed their eyes. They cried, not out of regret, but because they realized they were also victims of their own minds. Neuroscience stepped in. Brain scans showed that the prefrontal cortex, where behavior is controlled and empathy resides, thickened significantly after a period of meditation. This is the evidence, most eloquent, that stillness can heal the deepest wounds. U Ba Kin once said, "Time is a concept created by humans. You always say you are busy, but a director general can still meditate 2 hours every day. So what is the real reason of yours? Are you too busy? Or are you afraid to face the silence? Please honestly share the biggest barrier stopping you from meditation in the comments below. Philosophy, an ounce of practice, is more valuable than tons of theory." Conclusion. Echoes from the past. We have traversed a journey 26 centuries long. Let us review this panoramic picture. Do you see the red thread running through, connecting human lives? It begins with the drops of sweat of Prince Siddhartha when he alone fought against Mara. It continues through the silent sacrifice of the Burmese monks, those who used their own bodies as a rampart, shielding the lamp of Dhamma. And it flares up within the heart of S.N. Goenka. All of them, though in different eras, shared a common purpose. That is to hand down this precious gem to one person. Who is that person? It is you. Right at this moment. Why is this story important to you? Because the form of suffering may change, but the essence is forever immutable. In the past, Siddhartha suffered from birth, aging, sickness, death. Today, you suffer from work pressure, from loneliness. Names are different, but the burning sensation in the chest is exactly the same. Precisely because of that, this ancient remedy remains of original value. Now, the gem lies in your hands. What will you do with it? Will you forget it? Or will you try sitting down, closing your eyes, and observing the breath? Remember that no one can eat for you when hungry. No one can practice for you when you suffer. You are your own island. If you perceive the weight of history, please do not keep it for yourself. A share button of yours right now could be a lifebuoy for a friend drowning in depression. Please click subscribe right now to join us in spreading this value. Thank you for listening. See you again. In peace. Philosophy. There are only two mistakes on the path of truth. One is not starting. Two is not going to the end.